these rocks will do a good job of retaining the heat and pumping it back to me anyway. So.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sneakerphiles live show with Brooke Hoetzer. I'm Eugene, and you can catch us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And once again, you are watching Sneakerphiles live with Brooke. Here's Brooke.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks so much for tuning in live. Once again, I'm super duper excited to announce we do have a special guest on our show this week. You may know him as Buckeye City Soul, but shout out to one of the members of the Midsole Monday. We got Kev in the building tonight, guys. What's going on, Kev?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you guys for having me on the show, and I'll try to be toned down so I don't get you guys in trouble and get you demonetized. So.
All your good vibes are welcomed on this show, so you can lay it at. Go ahead and hit us where we can all find you on like Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
You can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, everything at Buckeye City Soul, straight up. And I mean, Instagram is usually the place where I frequent the most, but I'm on all of them.
Yeah, definitely. I always see on Instagram you post some of the dopest shots of either your footwear or just other people's footwear. And I think that's super cool that you do those shout outs. You were talking to me about you have a Sunday type like a shout out thing that you do.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Monday through Saturday, I post my own pictures. I try to post 2 per day. And then on Sunday, I just turn it over to, whatever pictures are using my hashtag and try to, show some other people some shine. I mean, there's a lot of great pictures out there. I mean, you take great pictures. There's a lot of great accounts out there that, maybe some people don't get a chance to check out because, they're just starting out. So I try to do what people did for me and, toss those out there. So.
Yeah, I like that. That's super cool. Yeah, it was crazy because last week, I did a couple shots and it was like the first time that I had someone take photos that wasn't like it was me because I was so used to getting someone else take them, and I went back to like my OG grind of doing it myself, and I was like, oh damn, I gotta get creative with this again, like mounting my phone in like random spots. But that's super sick. If you haven't guys seen his Instagram, check it out. A lot of the photos he posts on there are super duper dope, and I really like how he also shouts out other people's footwear that's really bringing in some heat. So, yeah, let's get into this week then. Okay. So, I'm going to hit you with a question, Kev, in a little bit. But before we get into that, let's talk about like our group pickups, what everyone's kind of been up to. We didn't record last week. So, Eugene, also, too, what have you been up to the past 2 weeks over there?
Well, I haven't picked up too much. I was able to go down to Toronto to the SneakerCon, like I told you right before. Actually, the last time we did a live stream, I was still in the middle of packing up to leave that night. So I ended up going to Toronto. It was awesome. I went with Stay Fresh, the local consignment store in Vancouver, and I didn't buy anything just because I was walking around so much and I was kind of working, quote unquote working, and I was shooting as much footage as possible. But while I was at the show, the biggest difference I saw over there is that people are still into retros and foams, whereas in Vancouver it's all Boost and all Yeezys. So that was a nice sight to see. But everything that they had there, it wasn't really for me. But I ended up picking up at work. I ended up picking up a pair of Flyknit trainers in that sunset tint, that pink color. It was like it was like $110 Canadian, so that works out to what, like $80, $90 American. So I had to do it, and I love the trainers. I'm so happy that they're coming back, that they came back, and that now we get all these colorways. I do miss the racers already, but the trainers I really have nothing to complain about. But as for pickups with shoes, not so much the last 2 weeks.
Yo, I'll tell you what, though, the racers, though, right now, if anyone out there, if you're watching, now's the time to buy them. They're so cheap right now. Like, Nike's an additional 20% off. Like, Finish Line has them super cheap. I love those shoes. But the trainers are definitely coming out with even more better colorways, too. Like, there's rumors of a purple that I think I saw within the next week, and they look super dope. But that's pretty cool. So what about you, Kev? Have you copped anything within the past 2 weeks, or just a week in general?
I did get a couple things. Actually, I was on, I think, 3 weeks on the show. I didn't have any cops, but I did pick up a couple things. I did get the Bordeaux 12s. I got those. I just got was it the Calvin Bailey nines? The nines. They kind of look like Lakers colors. And then tomorrow I should have the ash bronze and the white cement 5s. So
nice.
So I mean, they were. I think I spent 140 shipped. So I was like, I couldn't pass that up. So
you see, Kevin is always like, every time I look at your pickups or your Instagram feed, it's a lot of retros, and like they're not always brand new or new arrival retros either. But that market is dead over here. No one's buying retros on release day. I don't know in the U.S. particular what that scene is like, but up here, like nothing on release day sells anymore, especially for Jordan retros and foams and basketball shoes. So you want to give our Canadian listeners and viewers a little bit of insight of how the selling cycle works down there?
Sure. I mean, there's going to be people that will go out and buy the retros. But for the most part, people are kind of waiting because they are hitting sales. I mean, for the most part, I mean, if you wait long enough, you're going to pay anywhere from $150 to $140. If you wait long enough, I mean, and I've seen them even dip down into 120. I think the black motorsports I spent $100 on. But I mean, you know, you can save by waiting. Now, I guess in 2018, it's going to change up a little bit. I mean, I still like the new releases. So I buy them. But, you know, a lot of times if I don't have to have them, I'll wait until they go on sale and then I'll pick them up.
Yeah, that's definitely something that like I've been learning more towards doing, because like and that's why I wanted to kind of ask you guys too, like going into that, like sometimes like it's a lot of things are overwhelming. Like a lot of people are, you know, in a chat right now are telling us like all the things that they picked up. And a lot of times like I've had someone ask me like, are you copping this, you know, new thing that's coming out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, honestly, no, like I'm more into like finding like older gems that like maybe I passed out on like down the road, or just like a lot of shoes that are kind of just like under the radar that not that many people know about. And to me right now, that's like what I'm really focusing on, is kind of being that one person that is, you know, an individual with like creativity of what they have on their feet, rather than so many people that are just rocking the same like Yeezy, Ultra Boost, NMDs, or just like the same shoes constantly. And I got over that. And we talked about it like a couple chats ago, and I hit my breaking point when a kid came into my work with like Bape camo shorts, like zebra Yeezys with like his socks up, and just like a stupid shirt. And I was just like, oh my God, like what is going on? Like this kid is 11 years old and his outfit is like $1,000. Like this is insane. Yeah, so just like little things like that have just like made me really turn my head to some of the different things. It's crazy.
Yeah, these kids got endless pockets these days. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I remember I used to, you know, grit my teeth for $100 shoes asking my mom for. Now these kids are getting a $1,000 outfit. But you know what? I mean, it's a different time, and people are able to afford it. So I mean, I don't hate on them. I do like that, you know, that you do have, you know, the hype beast culture, because that actually leads to more choices for us. Because if they didn't have hype beasts, and they wouldn't create certain shoes, you know, Yeezys wouldn't be as popular as they are if we didn't have hype beasts. And, you know, there might be one or two, or you might like all the Yeezys, but none of them would be here if we didn't have that part of the culture. So, I mean, I welcome everybody. You know, do some people look kind of funny to me? Yeah, but that's their style. And if it makes them happy, hey, do it, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do it. So speaking of Yeezys, are these solar yellows on any of your guys' radar that are coming out with that gum bottom?
I'm gonna have to probably pass on. I'm a lazy person. Like I'm lazy. Like I'm not gonna go out there and do the footwork to get Yeezys. I mean, I think that they're okay if I got them, and I'd probably keep them and end up selling them down the road. But like, I mean, the things that I'll go crazy for are like Jordans. I mean, like leather, things like that. I'll go and do what I have to do to go get those. But as far as the Yeezys, I don't have the energy for all that, you know?
I like how Ryan in here in the chat, this like really made me chuckle. I do not like the cheeseburger wrapper Yeezys.
Yeah, I mean they put all those pictures out, and I was like, is that supposed to make them look better? I mean, a McChicken and a cheeseburger, and I'm like, does that make the shoe more appealing? I mean, you know, whatever.
I agree with a lot of the comments that we have in here saying Yeezys, and I can relate to this, are a super dope way to get yourself into a stepping stool of being able to afford something else that you want. Right. So like a lot of my recent pickups, like I've sold 3 pairs of Yeezys recently, and I've taken that money and I put it aside. Me and Eugene, I've talked about with him a little while ago. We have something in the works of your girl coming to Canada. So I'm trying to save, So I'm trying to save up some, you know, have some money. So when I go to Stay Fresh, I can ball out like I'm a Stay Fresh Canadian.
Yeah. You got to pay that tax to come back though.
Yeah. So
are you going to smuggle them?
I don't know. Yeah. How does that work? Like do you just like, I would smuggle them. I'd put them on my carry-on. I would want, if I'm bringing some heat, that shit is not getting sent away.
Yeah, but then what are you going to do with the box? That's the thing. Like when you buy shoes in other places, because when we went to Atlanta SneakerCon, it's just like, all right, well, I just bring a carry-on. I don't bring, I don't check a bag or anything like that. If you buy a pair of shoes, you want to keep the box. I mean, so that's just, you know, it's just a frustration.
Here's what you do. No. Here's what you do. You wear or ship the shoes back in your luggage, and then you flatten the box and you mail that back. That's what that's what I've heard people have done before, and it seems to work. So it's just at your own discretion.
I mean, that's definitely a good idea. See, now this brings me into another topic, and I'm sure I already know the answer for Eugene since he doesn't wear any of his sneakers. Are you really particular on boxes, Kev? So if someone was like, look, I have this, you know, say you didn't have the shattered backboards because I knew you probably did, or whatever Jordan you really want that's like a grail to you. They were like, I have the shoe, it's in perfect condition, but I don't have the box. I moved and I just don't have the box anymore. Would you turn down a sale because of a box?
I mean, I've bought shoes that didn't have a box, but they weren't like a grail or something like that. If it's a grail, then I kind of want to have the box, because also, I mean, if someone doesn't have the box, well, why don't you have the box? I mean, if you planned on selling them, you know, why would you get rid of the box? I mean, I don't know. It all depends on who it is. If I trust a person and the shoes, I mean, I'm going to wear the shoes, then, I mean, I'd probably buy one without the box for a good price. But I like to have the box. I'm not into the drop fronts, really. I mean, it's a clean look, but I like to have that box, you know. I like to, I mean, pause. I mean, I like to have that, you know. I like to open it up and see the shoes, and then, you know, it helps with the whole nostalgia, because I'm a nostalgic collector. I mean, I've collected ever since I was in the 4th grade. So it's good to have that box.
I agree with that. There are like, I have a pair of Belugas, and if I ever decide to resell them, I know I'm probably going to have to deal with like someone that's going to kind of be like a hassler because I don't have the box for it anymore. And certain people are like that. Like I knew a friend that purchased a pair of shoes offline, and the box that they sent her the shoes, she ordered another pair and returned them because her box got like damaged. So there are people that kind of are about that. I mean, for me, if I'm getting a good price on a pair of sneakers, like I'm not going to close a deal because of a box, but that's just interesting to know.
Yeah. I mean,
like other people.
I've heard of people. I mean, I don't mind if the box is dinged up a bit. I mean, it is what it is, but as long as they have it, I mean, but there are people that are, you know, are really particular about it. I mean, I know, I mean, Molly has all drop fronts, but if you send him one that's dinged up, then he doesn't like that. So, I mean, I see Polos in here talking about drop fronts. trying to get that Container Store deal.
That's funny. So yeah. So sounds like Eugene didn't really pick up too much heat. Sounds like you did all the work for him on that side, which is super cool. So those are some really great pickups. Me, I picked up a pair of the Jordan 1 All-Stars, and it's actually a shoe that I really wanted. I think I talked about it before. I actually got them delivered, though. I got them off of Foot Action. They were just sitting on Foot Action's website, and I used the 20% off coupon, so I got them for a super steal because they actually still have some resale value on them. And it's actually, in my opinion, one of my favorite Jordan 1 colorways is that, like, that translucent, like, what is it, Charlemagne or whatever it's called, the colorway of the All-Star ones, or Chameleon or whatever. Yeah, I said Charlemagne, whatever.
Charlemagne, friend of the
show. I was saying it the way that it like looks spelled, but I really like that one. I got a pair of the Flyknit Racer Oreos from a hookup at Foot Locker. I got them for $75, and it was the Oreo colorway. So it was something that I kind of couldn't pass up. And then I needed a new pair of running shoes. And so I ended up getting the Zoom Flies, and I'm super duper. So when I first like saw like people doing reviews, like Sean Go, I always talk about him. He does the best reviews. Shoot him a like, a subscribe, and a follow. Like if you're ever torn on what shoe to get, I always watch his reviews all the time. He did a review of them on foot. And I wasn't so intrigued with them until I started watching some videos on Complex, and one of the guys was wearing the pair that I got. And I actually kind of want to pick up one to just like rock besides running, because I'm super particular with my running shoes compared to my lifestyle shoes. And Leo will always say something like, well, why don't you run in these? I'm like, they're not my running shoes. So like they're not like zoned just for the gym shoes. So I might even pick up one for personal. They're super clean, and I really like the sleekness and like minimalistic look that they give. So I was able to get them off Finish Line. I always preach about Finish Line because I'm a reward member, so I get like $20 or $30 off because I buy a lot of kicks. So that's definitely a great reward program to get into. Now, Ryan hit me up on Instagram and asked me if I've ran in them. I just got them today, so I haven't ran in them yet. I am going to post a blog on them and a review, so I'll let you know like how they are for running, because I usually run in the Pegasus 34. But besides that, I copped some things from Supreme, and that was about it.
Ballaholic right there. I mean,
I'm waiting. Yeah, you just named like 5 shoes before me.
But I mean, I took like a month off. So.
Oh yeah.
And then you're always like, oh, I got these. Oh, I'm sending back. I'm gonna get something.
Yeah, you gotta be particular. Sometimes it comes down to like my newest thing is quality over quantity. So like if you can get like the shoes for like a super cool steal, like do it sometimes. But like I'm more of into like buying stuff now that's like right now I'm in a decision where I'm probably going to wait till November, and I'm glad I heard the news of Off-White releasing all those shoes. Like, have you seen that? There's a lot of retailers that are selling them. I honestly was going to sell my Belugas and use that money to buy the Off-White Vapor Max at the resale price, because that shoe, if anyone knows me, they know how much I love Vapor Max. So like that, I need to have that shoe. So if I can't get it from any of those retailers that it drops in November, I might have to do it on StockX.
Yeah, you have an opportunity to get them. I mean, I'm sure that, the only ones I really want, the Vapor Max are dope. We were in Atlanta, but the ones that I want the ones. I want the ones, but I'm not spending whatever people are charging for them right now. If I can get lucky and come up on the Sneakers app or something like that, because I think they are coming out on Sneakers app. If I can get lucky on that and get them, then I'll be happy as a clam. But I'm not going to spend, what are they going for right now? Like $1,200 or even more? It's crazy.
They're up in like the 2,000 range the last time that I checked. But I honestly think that price is going to drop tremendously once they're re-released, just like these Yeezy Zebras, just like the Zebras did. Because you can go on. Why are you shaking your head, Eugene?
They're not gonna go down in value. They're so limited. We're talking about the Yeezy Zebras comparing to this. I can't honestly say that I can't predict that the Off-White. We're talking about the 10s, right, or any pair in particular.
Yeah. The ones.
There's no way they're releasing as many of the ones or the Vapor Max or any of those as many as the second drop of the Yeezy Zebras. There's no.
I don't know, man. But you got to look at it like this: the Yeezy Zebras. What were they released on? Were they even released at Foot Locker when they came out again? No. They were released on Adidas. They were released on Yeezy Supply. And I think they were released on like one or two other websites, if that, maybe.
Are we talking about the first drop or the second drop?
The second drop. The second drop.
Oh, second drop.
So these shoes,
no, they did have them in Foot Locker.
They had it everywhere for the second drop. They had it at Adidas again, Champs, Foot Locker, and even we're talking about like some of the Champs location that don't get shit either. Like we're talking about really low traffic malls. They got it. So that re-release just entirely killed the resale on that. The February release, they were selling for like upwards of 2K, but then eventually they dropped to 700 or so in Canadian anyways. And like this Off-White technically has never been released to the general public, and I think the November release is actually the official public release of these, because the first one was like a what do you call it? It's a special engagement event that they released it through. So technically, there's no public pairs out to the public yet, or out in the wild yet. But I think the value of these will hold. It won't be exactly the same, but they will hold a lot of its initial value from the previous release.
So this is why I think that they're going to be a lot more. I read so much stuff on different various websites. They're coming out on sneakers and stuff. They're coming out on UBQ. They're coming out on so many places overseas, US. There's raffles for them, and they're going to be dropping on Nike. Yes, I still think it's going to be hard, but I think that the resale is going to drop. The ones is probably going to drop to about 1,000 to 1,500, depending on your size. All the Vapor Maxes and all that stuff is going to be 1,000 and under.
I would think
I guarantee it.
I would think that with the drop, the price would have to drop just a bit. And I mean, typically what happens before the shoes even drop, like a couple of days, people will lower their price so they can get rid of them at the high rate before, people get opportunity. Because if they end up releasing a bunch of them, then they get stuck with, losing, where they could have, sold them for $1,700, where they had to sell them for $1,200. And I mean, $500 is a big difference when it comes to a shoe.
Oh, totally.
I mean,
sure.
Like you said, with those Yeezy Zebras, I was talking to somebody that I think they paid $2,000 for the first set of Zebras, and then when they dropped again, I know that he had to be super sick. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I know he had to be super sick, to spend all that money, and all of a sudden.
Yeah. So that really brings up like a really big point. I work with a guy who got those Yeezy Zebras. He bought his off StockX, and I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, because within 2 or 3 weeks they dropped again. Like I was like, what? Like, do you read anything? He ended up getting the StockX off of the Zebras off of StockX for over $1,000. The person, the person that he bought them, or whenever StockX shipped it, had a Fight Club like receipt in the box. And that person spent $2,000 on them and sold them for $1,000 on StockX, dead stock. So it was pretty much the cycle of getting just hit in the face, like, you idiots, you should have waited. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a tough deal right there. I mean, I won't shop at Flight Club just for just because I know they're gonna, get you or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'll go. Go ahead. No, I mean, I'll go to StockX. I will never shop at GOAT ever again. But yeah, StockX. I mean, it's been great. It's been the best pricing. I think they actually control the price of certain shoes, because I mean, when you get in the GOAT, you're like, whoa, why are these so high? You go to GOAT and go to StockX and kind of compare the prices, and I mean, there's a big difference. You go from StockX to eBay, and there's a big difference for the most part from what I've seen. But and also with eBay, you run the chance of getting fakes, where at least at StockX, someone's at least looking at them. I mean, we were talking about this on the Monday Monday, and just saying that they may miss some here or there, but you have that extra layer of protection, and they ship super quick. I mean, I send shoes. I've sold shoes on StockX. I send it on a Monday. I'm paid by Tuesday, and they have the shoes authenticated and ready to go out. I mean, I bought the Calvin Baileys or whatever the hell they're called. I bought them Monday, and they got here yesterday. Or no, not yesterday. I didn't buy them Monday. I bought them Saturday. But they got here yesterday, and I mean that's a quick turnaround for a middleman. You can't beat that. I think Goat took two weeks to get to me, and they sent me fakes. So
is that why you don't? That's what you were telling me before. You don't mess with Goat because they sent you fakes before, correct?
Yeah, I mean they sent me some fake Royal ones, and then when I tried to reach out to them through the app or whatever, they didn't respond. All right, cool. So then I went on Twitter. I mean, I don't have a big following on Twitter, and then nothing. So I was like, all right, let me go on Instagram and say something. I didn't hear anything, but people are talking about it. So I just put in a claim on PayPal. I got to keep the fake shoes so I can wear them to cut the grass, and they refunded my money. I mean, I had to do the same thing with Kith. I mean,
really? With the ones that you just got because they were all messed up.
I reached out to them, and I didn't get a response. So then they said, they responded like later on, and they said, well, send us pictures and your stuff. I sent that. I didn't get anything back. I said, screw it. I'm just going to open up a claim. I opened up a claim. They never responded. Now I got, my stained shoes and my money. So, I mean, it was a come up, but I would have been happy to pay for them if I could have gotten, the shoes the way they should have been.
Yeah, for sure. So we're getting a lot of stuff a lot of stuff in the chat right now. Yes, Frankie, I do have a tattoo sleeve on my arm. I'm working on the other one, but we're getting a lot of other conversation in the chat about like Fight Club, different things like that. The price is there, and I kind of just want to ask, like, I personally would never buy anything in Fight Club. I know you said it as well, just because I know that StockX is cheaper, and there are various websites that are a lot cheaper than shopping in Fight Club. Like, if you really wanted a shoe like that bad, would you not even care about the overprice of it if you knew that they were the only place that had them, but in your head you knew you could find it for a cheaper price?
I don't think I have enough money to shop at Flight Club.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
I mean, I don't have money to burn. I mean, it's one thing when you spend as much money as you do on shoes, but it's another thing where that they're getting over on you. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you could go on Flight Club right now and compare things and just see. I mean, it's a crazy difference. But
yeah, we went to when we were in New York, me and Leah went to either Fight Club or Stadium Goods, and she was like looking at it and she's like, oh my God, like I can't believe these prices. Yeah. And the shoes are just like saran wrap, and I have some of the shoes in my collection, and it's crazy on how much that they resell them. Like Stadium Goods resells, I saw on their website because they had a 20% off. They were reselling Flyknit racers for like $300. Like they're all on sale right now. Like sometimes I wonder how these places even still have their business because their prices are just ridiculous. But then again, there's people that come into stores, kind of like how Eugene, you posted about that one lady came in, needed a pair of shoes for the gym, so she just bought some Yeezys or whatever. Like it was just no big deal. Like that's crazy.
Stadium Goods, every now and then, Stadium Goods will have a good price. And then you can buy shoes early sometimes, if you tweet it out or whatever. But on what is that show where is on Complex where they go and
sneaker shopping? Yeah,
sneaker shopping. Do you ever look at the prices that they're charging these people?
Yeah.
For these, I mean, it's a GR that you're spending a resale price on. That you could go to StockX, you could go to eBay and spend under retail, and these people are spending like $300 on a GR. Flight Suit 5 or something like that. That's dumb. Like that show doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, and they have people that you're a Nike athlete and you're at Stadium Goods buying shoes. What? That doesn't make any sense.
That
you get whatever you want.
that makes me laugh so much because you bring up such a great point. Like I do, it's like one of those shows that like you hate to admit that you like, but you just enjoy watching it. But I do really like to watch it because it's not about that. It's about like seeing like heat that's like just like grails that like maybe you want to rediscover, about like looking into getting for yourself, and just like the host, and just when he talks to people, like, did you see when they had Ric Flair on it? I could not take it seriously.
I was like,
he was
whoa.
like, Ric Flair, woo! Like every time he bought a shoe, he was like, I'll take these, woo!
I mean, it's definitely an entertaining show.
Yeah.
But I just like, I look at the end, I'm like, you know, whoa, like these prices are crazy. But I mean, I like that it's, you know, it's within, I mean, some people don't like to call the sneaker community or whatever a culture. I call it a culture. I mean, it's good to see some, you know, something like that, something that we care about, you know, on the mainstream to be at that level. So, I mean, it's, you know, they're getting over on people, but it's awesome to see to me.
Yeah, it's like, it's super interesting. Like the one dude, I think it was Logic they had in there, and I really enjoyed that episode because I just love his style. I think he paid like $200 or $300 for a pair of the SB like chicken and waffle dunks. Like I got them off Nike for under retail. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder what the actual, like what they actually pay, or if like, you know, they have a budget through the show and the show actually pays for it and they give them the shoes. Because if you saw, did you see the ball?
No, I didn't see the ball one
because they were buying GRs. And,
well, they're just idiots.
And I mean, I actually don't mind the balls. I mean, I watched, if you watch their show on YouTube.
No, I've never checked it out.
You check it out because you get a different perspective on, you know, how they really are. I mean, it's a LeVar, you know, he's, you know, super out there and everything like that. But like when you watch the show, you kind of get to see a different side of him, where he's not as bad as he comes off. I mean, you know, and the boys they don't seem like they're that bad. They seem like, you know, good kids for the most part. I wouldn't agree with he took LaMelo out of school. I don't think that's a good move. But I mean, you know, he got one kid to the pros, and who knows if the second one's gonna make there, but I'll
have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. I think they're up to like episode 7 or 8 right now, and it's pretty good.
I'll definitely chime into that. It's funny because shout out to Jason, and I also want to announce something too. He said the DJ Khaled one is the worst, and I can only imagine, like every time he bought a shoe, he's probably like, these are the best.
Yeah, he makes nicknames for everything. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. What do you think about those we are the best threes? We the best threes, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not really that much into them. What about you?
I think they look like boxing gloves. I think they're terrible. I think they're probably the worst red Jordan ever.
So for me with Jordans, I like 1s and I like 11s. And Eugene knows I still have this, like, I'm going to get it when it goes on, like, super sale. I love those, like, Jordan 5, the Sunset Blush ones. I don't know why. The ones that were made for women that came out and kids. I really like them. But for Jordans, I only really kind of, like, ever go for either 1s or 11s. I've never thought although the 5s, the Supreme Desert Camos are definitely something that's like on my grail list of what I want. But just like personally, like I feel like I rock the 1s and the 11s better. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I love them all. I mean, well, at least 1 to 14, and I've been starting to dabble in the later ones. The 31 is my favorite basketball shoe of all time, though. I mean, it's super comfortable. And I mean, I tried to hoop in the 32s, and they weren't as comfortable, so I was kind of a letdown. But the 31s are great. The 4s are my favorite Jordan of all time. Bread 4, I would take, if I had to get rid of all my shoes, I'd take Bread 4 forever. I mean, this is my favorite shoe.
Definitely. Right now, for my like collection of J's, I would probably say my favorite Jordan's definitely my Black Toe 1. Everyone in the chat, shoot a comment in there if you're still watching about like what your favorite Jordan is. Maybe we can see who has the best one. But my Black Toes are definitely one that I really love. I still want to get my hands on a pair of Shattered Backboards, and I like the Fragments too. But the resale on those shoes is so even my size for a Shattered Backboard is $1,300.
That's bananas. That's
Yeah,
bananas.
for a fucking Jordan 1.
I think
like,
I
it's
paid.
insane.
I have two. I think I spent $350 on one and $320 on the other one. But this was like
I would
around when
easily take that price.
that was around when they dropped. I mean, like I got this shirt here. It's all one.
Yeah. What's
shout
your
out to
favorite one on there?
The bread one.
All right,
But I mean,
that's another one I need.
It's got the. I want the frags too. The frags are the only ones I don't have on this shirt. Shout out to Sneaker Miyagi. He put the shirt together and sent me one. But yeah, I
They
mean,
hit them up. That's dope.
yeah, it is a dope shirt. But I wish I could have the fragments. And there was a time where I could have traded. I think I could have traded my 750 Yeezys and got cash on top of it. But it wasn't the right amount. I didn't think it was the right amount of cash. And now, lo and behold, the frags are worth more than the 750 Yeezys now. So I messed up there. But, it is what it is.
Why do you think the price is in only those two colorways, so the shattered backboards and the fragments, is that high in resale? Like, out of even, like, for me personally, like, I really love the shattered backboards and I really want them, but you would think like a black toe would be higher in resale, or even something that has like more of like a striking color, like those hype colors, like red and black, like a band. Like, to me, it's just crazy that it's those two silhouettes that are like that high.
I mean, it's the limited number. I mean, that's the major thing. And then also with the shattered backboards, I mean, that's become the benchmark of quality for Jordan's period. I mean, is it shattered backboard leather? I mean, that's something that you hear about everything. I mean, I think but although those premium ones, they didn't sell as well as I thought that they would. But I mean, you could
the sales.
The sales. You could make a shattered backboard out of that.
No,
but, I mean,
I can't do that. Like, I don't, like, that's another thing. Like, people that wear like those fake ass Supreme shirts or just like shit that's not real. Like, I can't with that. Like, in the back of, like, it's not authentic. Like, it's not real.
So you don't like
I don't
customs?
know. I like customs, which brings up a really great conversation that I want to touch on. But a custom is different than taking a brand and making it something when it's really not. So taking just a white shirt and putting like a Supreme like logo on it and saying it's a Supreme t-shirt, or taking an off-white, like those fake like strips or anything like that. Like, it's just not authentic. A custom is kind of like twerking it and adding like your own creativity to it.
Well, I mean, say if you had the premium sales, you could make those into you could make those into a shattered backboard. But I don't have any customs, but I think the customs are sweet. If I were to do a custom, I would probably do a custom on the ones and make them like a kind of like the bread style colorway, but with green. I think that I've seen that a couple times, and I think that's sick. I was talking to somebody about one of the customers, Nard got soul. And, we were talking about, doing that. So I may end up doing that with, I think I got a Cyber Monday or something like that he can do it with. So I may do that.
That would be hot. So this brings up to customs. I want to announce we have someone, he's actually in the chat right now. He's one of my sneaker brothers in the Sneakerphiles podcast. So Jason Kurtz is amazing, the work that he does. Follow him on Instagram. Jason, hit your Instagram and your Twitter in the chat so everyone can see the great work that you do. But he makes customs, and he actually picked me up a Flyknit Racer Goddess, and he is going to be doing a custom for me. And everyone knows how much I love the Vapor Max, how much I love the Flyknit trainers, and how much I love the racers. And I'm super duper excited for that. So, like, knowing that I'm going to have, like, my own custom shoe by this bougie podcaster is super dope, and I'm really looking forward to it. So shout out to him. Check his work out because he does really great customs. Do you know what's a shoe that, like, if I saw, I would think is a custom, but it's not? The Dave White Jordan 1s. Do you have those in your collection?
I don't. Wait, the Dave White. What do they look like?
Stars and Stripes.
They're hot.
Okay, with the gold in them.
Yeah, they got like the offset,
splattered paint on them a little bit.
I think I know what you're talking about. Let me check it out.
So yeah,
here, I'll send you a picture.
That does look like
Go ahead,
that does look like a custom to me, just because it's so heavily relied on the color blocking through paint itself, and you don't see that with Jordans very often.
Okay.
Everything is always painted panels and pieces that are sewn together, but this one actually has color breaks within a particular panel of the leather and whatnot. So that's why it does look like a custom. Everything looks like it's hand stenciled on, and it brings back to, for me anyways, that kind of paint scheme and color blocking brings back to the more creative days of like the SB Dunks back in the 90s and early 2000s, and that's why I really like the Dave White ones.
I think the Dave White ones sat here for a bit.
Really? Because they're hot. I actually, one of the guys that, believe he lives in Canada, I'm not too sure, his Instagram name is Just Calby. He does some really great on-foot images of like Yeezys, of Jordan 1s, and he like rocks Sauconys and Asics a lot. And he just has some really great photography skills. So check him out. He posted a pic of them, and I started like looking into them, and it was like they were following me. And then I saw them at the mall, and I was just like, oh my god, like these shoes are crazy in the detail, like they're super nice, but I can't find my size anywhere in them. Like I can't find a size 7 at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, they just, I mean, it's funny how things just disappear. I mean, and once they disappear, the price goes crazy. I mean, like I like the Gary Payton gloves. When I was back in '97, I was in high school. I was playing basketball, and I was just I was just wearing Jordans, but I did want those. So then I came around and said, all right, let me start looking for them. Could never find them. So maybe a couple years ago, I was like, all right, I was on eBay, and there were pairs for like $400. Like, I'm not paying $400 for a Gary Payton gloves. I mean, I'm glad they came back out because I did end up getting a pair. But it's just crazy. Like when a shoe disappears, that price just goes through the roof. I mean, shoes that were on sale. I mean, shoes you go to City Gear for $60. 2 years later, things are like worth $200-$300.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy. I actually just got a tweet. Someone just tagged me in something. The Nike store just did a huge restock on Jordan 1 sizes. I don't know if it's only grade school, but they have the reverse retro high on there, the black toes, and the band.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But the band are sold out, so there goes my luck. But that's crazy.
I mean,
so if anyone out there can rock a size 7, check Nike's website real quick because they're probably going to get sold out.
I mean, you gotta buy what you can. I mean, it doesn't really matter the size.
Yeah, flip them.
You can always get rid of them for the low, or for the most.
Yeah, but they sold out too quick. I was too slow on that. But that's crazy that they restocked them. But besides that point, that just like totally threw me off. That's why
I don't see anything.
Maybe it must have just been T Blake. He posts a lot of stuff on Twitter. I'll send you the link. He posts a lot of stuff on Twitter just about like restocks and random things like that. And he just hit it out with that. But that's crazy. Another thing I kind of want to get into when we're talking about Jordan 11s, kind of like this moment that we just had. How did you guys feel about that random drop of the Jordan 11 that Nike did?
Oh, I was so pissed about that because I think I caught it maybe 4 minutes into it, and then I went in there and it was sold out. And I mean, I think I'll still be able to get them anyway. And I mean, but I kind of, doing Instagram, having the shoes beforehand will always, bumps your numbers up. So if I was going to buy them anyway, I'd rather have them early, and especially at retail. But it is what it is. At least we get the opportunity to get them on a wider scale, where sometimes, when they have those quick strikes, you never get the opportunity, or you end up spending some money to get them.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, I feel like that's going to be one that I'll be able to get, because I feel like a lot of places are releasing them. Like who's like, there's so many, like Sneakerville, Foot Locker, Foot Action, East Bay. There's so many different areas, and I have a couple people at the mall that work at stores that will definitely show love and kind of keep it locked for me if they do come out, and kind of like maybe keep the pair on the side. The one dude, Sneakerville, always hooks me up with that. But so I thought it was kind of cool. I think this is a great way to kind of like beat like the resellers and like the bots and everything like that. So I was into it. Looks like, but I wasn't able to pick it up. But looks like a lot of people on here, what's it called? Looks like, Jason saw that they did the I guess, yeah. Does he have a proxy, Eugene, where he can see stuff? Like on US's site?
He actually does have the sneakers app. There's like workarounds. It's just, yeah, there's workarounds to getting American apps that are exclusive to them. But he does use the sneakers app. So, yeah, he does get all those updates and whatnot. But those are Jordan 11s. We already know if you're a Jordan collector, you're most likely gonna get like 95% chance you're gonna get them because it's a holiday release. And
Yeah.
it's kind of the way to end the calendar year with a pair of Jordans. But these do come out in November. Getting them early or not, it doesn't really matter to me, just because I don't usually unds my shoes for at least 6 to 12 months anyway. So no matter when I get it, I like if the production numbers from the Space Jam 11s from last year is an indication to how Jordans are releasing this pair, because I know they're holding back production numbers for 2018, so technically this is a 2017 shoe. If they do release 750,000 a pair of the men's size, then I don't see a problem with me getting a retail pair, and as long as I can get it for retail or below, I'm happy. So yeah, it's definite pickup for me, and it's a good looking shoe. It reminds me of like the Georgetown Lows, and I was a big fan of the Georgetown Lows, and I think it's closer
I used to have them
to the Georgetowns than the Pantones or the UNC colorway. But Jordan 11s has always been my favorite Jordan of all time, just because like growing up, that's like the first pair of Jordans that I had to buy with my own money and stuff, and like flex at school, and that's the pair I used to take off before I walk on the gym, and then take back off when I'm walking off the gym, kind of deal. So yeah, the Concord 11 is a huge deal for me. So all Jordan 11 holiday releases I've copped since the very first the slide out box, which it was what was it, the Space Jams, I guess, or the Grays, one of those two. Those were my first.
I think it was Space Jams that would have the slide out on.
Yeah, and
they all do, except for the 2012 Breads didn't have a slide out box, but the Cool Grays did, and so do the Space Jams.
Yeah,
that's one shoe I regret selling, were the Breads. The Jordan 11 Breads.
I've copped every single Jordan 11, like except for the IEs. They're not really my style, but yeah, all the retro Jordans since the holiday release, I've copped every single one of them. And even without the slide out box of the Bread 2012s, I was happy to get a couple of pairs of those, and like I wouldn't miss this, like never. Not even like the Gammas, I was not a huge fan of, just because it's a holiday release, I had to do it.
Yeah, I typically double or triple up on the 11s because you don't get as many of them, and I will wear the 11s the day that I get them. I actually wore my Space Jams to my reception at my wedding.
That's great.
And then I have two other pairs on ice, because the thing about 11s is they don't come around, often enough. So when you're wearing them, if you want to have a fresh pair like Concords, I mean, that's a triple, if not quadruple, because the Concords get dirty so fast. I mean, the wind blows on them, but I mean, I still love to have like a fresh, clean pair, So I've got 3 pairs of Concords right now, and one of them is torched. The other one's all right, and the other one it looks almost brand new. But I'm gonna be grabbing the red and the blue ones this year.
I do really like the red ones too. But I might just grab the blue ones, but I don't know. We shall see, depending on what the conditions are. If I'm able to get the Vapor Max Flyknit, the Vapor Max ones. So that kind of comes down to it, how I gotta be able to get them. But there is like a lot of different things that Nike's doing. Also too, I haven't really seen like much Adidas though that has like been striking. So Kev, do you mostly stick to like Jordans, or do you ever wear Adidas or Boost or anything like that?
I have 2 pair of Ultra Boost. I have Alexander Wang basketball shoes, and then I have a pair of Yeezys, and I have 1 or 2 pairs of NMDs. I'm pretty much all Jordan and Nike. I mean, growing up, I didn't really buy Adidas. I didn't really mess with Adidas too much. Actually probably wore more Reeboks than I did Adidas, but I mean, all I buy is Nikes and Jordans for the most part.
I feel you. Yeah, that's kind of like how I've been. I used to be about the Adidas wave with a lot of different things, but just so many different like overhyped things kind of like made me lose interest in it. And Nike just kind of takes me back to the culture of a lot of different things. And that's like a big reason why I really just love Nike and I love the Nike brand. And I like how Nike, like, in my opinion, like Nike runners and different things like that, like running's very important to me. It has a big piece of my heart. The people that promote running for Nike, in my mind, are a real athlete compared to the people that do it for Adidas. But that's just kind of what I have to say about that. I know some people won't agree, but a lot of those people are the one that take their insoles out of their Ultra Boost. So what do they know about technology?
I hear you there.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably need to start running, but it's the way that my stomach and weight and everything is set up. That's not really conducive to my lungs. So I mean, I do still play basketball. So I mean, there's not really any Adidas basketball shoe that I'd probably give a shot. So I mean, I wear the 31s, and that's what I'll just continue to wear until they come up with something else. Now I did get the LeBrons. I am going to test those out next. I play every Wednesday, so I'll test those out on Wednesday to see what kind of what kind of shoe it is. If it's got the shock. The shock is the most important thing for me, because the way when I play, like my feet, it feels like they're burning if the shoe's not right on the soles. So I'll try them out, and I'll have my 31s with me. So if I have to switch up, then I'll go ahead and switch up.
They definitely are super comfortable. I ended up picking up a pair of the Ghost ones that came out, but just in the moment right now, like I talked to you about it before, I was the hype about the newness of them, but there's two other colorways that I really, really want, like that one I sent you a picture of. They're coming out with like a red winey one or like a burgundy one, and I think that looks super dope. The Ghosts are really nice. Like, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful. They kind of remind me of like an oatmeal raisin cookie. But the problem with those is I don't really wear like a lot of like light shoes. I just tend to kind of stay away from that. And the way that I dress and the way that my style is, I wear a lot of things that, even though I'm wearing this light hoodie, I wear a lot of things that are darker, especially on my footwear. So like, I just had to kind of get rid of them. But they are coming out with so many colorways, and I'm super excited for any release information on those floral ones that they're going to be collabing with Kith for, because I love the brand. I love Kith. Yeah. Hopefully, if you do get those, you won't have any issues.
Feel like someone stuck them in a washing machine with a Sharpie.
Oh my God!
Now I posted a pair. I think he wore them maybe a couple of days ago. They were the red pair. I think those are sick. I mean, if I get my hands on those, or if they come out with an idea and then you can put red or whatever, I'd be happy with that. I mean, I've ID'd the past few. I skipped the 13s. The 13s.
Oh, I see which ones you're talking about. They're nice.
Yeah, the 13s were probably the worst that he's ever done, I think. But the 14s I liked. I ID'd a couple of those. But I'm excited to ID these. I mean, and the thing is, it's crazy, is that if you look at them, they look like a cross between maybe like a Yeezy, a high top Yeezy meets a KD. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, I guess.
So yeah, I agree with you on those. I think the 15s are definitely a lot nicer compared to the previous ones that have came out. Looks like some people in the chat, we got some conversation before we move on about some new things that are coming out. Have you guys seen the Pusha T's that are coming out, the paper bags?
I
don't really like them at all. I think the ones that came out last year were a lot nicer. They honestly, it's not something like, I guess maybe I have to see them in person, but some of the shots that I saw, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. I think we're doing a lot with a lot of wheat colors right now, and I think we're kind of going to overhype wheat, like with an up-tempo in the wheat, a Jordan 1 in the wheat, an Air Force 1 in the wheat. There's just too many wheats going on. There's too many crackers going on.
It's a dead-ass season. I mean, it's straight up New York. I mean, there's people that love wheat. I don't really get. I think I have one pair, maybe two pair of wheat shoes, and I rarely get a chance to wear them. But what was it? The 13s weren't too bad. I don't even know if they're even coming out now. I know I saw pictures of a 13 all wheat, but I mean, I don't. The 6s, I do like the 6s. Let me take that back. I like the wheat 6s. I'd get those if I can get them. I'll take the wheat 6s.
Yeah, so go ahead and drop a comment, guys, what you think is going on with all these wheat colorways. If it's, for the fall or if it's an overkill. I think it might, like, if they came out with like one or two silhouettes, I think that would be dope. But when they're coming out with like if you go on the sneakers app, if you're in the US, you will see just so much wheat that it's just like, whoa, what is going on right now? But I know a shoe that's coming out, and I think like a week or two, that I'm kind of excited about is that Flyknit trainer in that like deep purple colorway. Have you seen that?
I haven't. I'm so myopic when it comes to basketball shoes, Jordans, and Nikes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably one of my flaws. I mean, and that's something. I mean, with our show, I mean, that's pretty much what we stick to. And I probably do need to broaden my sneaker knowledge when it comes to that.
Don't do it. It's expensive when you're that. Then you'll
I don't
like
have to buy them.
everything.
I don't have to buy them, but I just can pay more attention. So, when someone does bring it up, I mean, because everybody's not going to like what I like. So it is nice to know kind of about, what other people are into or why they're into it. So.
Yeah, it looks like I like ones. I talked to him on Instagram, so shout out to you, man. He actually will always randomly hit me up, ask my opinion on something. He looks like he has the Air Force high wheat, and he's good with those. So I mean, I guess if you have like one style of like wheat in your selection, that's cool. But don't buy a loaf of bread, everybody, please.
You're just buying them all up. I mean, they're Nike must see some type of thing there. So I don't know.
What do you guys think about, I don't know if you saw him, Kev, since you don't look at anything else besides Jordans, just kidding. But those real high Air Force Ones that are coming out that like go up to your kneecap. Eugene, have you seen those?
I have seen them.
Stormtrooper boots?
I have seen them. It's just the way that Nike has been doing certain things. Like we've seen it in basketball shoes recently where they go really, really high. And I don't know if people are actually buying these. Like I don't know what the success rate of these products are really. To me, there's no way that you can wear those very casually, and it's almost like one of the biggest, not problems, but one of the biggest issues that affect my spending habits with Nike in particular is that Nike seems to be having a identity crisis right now. They don't know whether or not they're an athletic brand or a fashion brand, if that makes sense to you. Like we've seen this happen with like the Jordan 5 premiums that cost $400 US or $500 Canadian. At that point, that's a designer shoe kind of level of retail price. And those ended up failing. They went to outlets, they went on sale almost immediately, and Nike has this identity crisis. They don't know how to market certain retros or certain heritage shoes like the Air Force Ones and whatnot. And now they're doing something interesting at the same time. Like market-wise, it's not making too much sense. Like I don't know anyone that happily paid retail for a Primo 5 or even one of those Pinnacle 1s or Pinnacle 4s, because those retail prices are crazy. Like why are you giving me like designer style separate shoe dust bags for an athletic shoe? I don't get it. And when we're seeing super high cut Air Force Ones, that's the kind of impression I'm getting. This shoe is made for nobody. What do you guys think?
All right. I mean, I have a pair of the SF ones from last year, and I think that what they did was they saw the success that those brought last year, and they tried to go overboard with it this year, because the new ones, I mean, there are strings all around them. I mean, they look like something like one of those snow guys on the G.I. Joe. Remember back in the day, like G.I. Joe, and the guy would have the boots.
Small soldiers.
Yeah, it looked like he had some Uggs on or something. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't like the new stuff that they're doing with it. The blue ones, actually, I didn't think that were that bad. They are tough to wear, though. They are. You have to have the right jeans to work with them, because they can look cool.
Not only that, but you got to have like the right body for it too. Because like if you're short, you're just gonna look like kneecaps walking around with those things on. Like they're gonna cover your whole entire leg. Like they're not gonna look good unless you're like tall, you're rocking like skinny jeans with them or something like that, because they go up, like they're high.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely, I think I've worn mine 2 or 3 times, and I haven't pulled them out yet. I mean, it hasn't been cold yet until maybe yesterday or so I mean, I really haven't seen the opportunity to wear them. I mean, try to put them on, once or twice this year. But I mean, it's not worth them to keep coming out with these high shoes. We're crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't know if it's kind of like, I think Eugene brought up a really great point with it on identity with what they're trying to kind of get done. But besides those high shoes, there was a question before we start to close out that I wanted to ask you, Kev. So right now in your collection, what are your top 5 shoes that, like, you could either name a top 5 grail or just 5 shoes that, like, you constantly rock all the time that, like, are just your favorite, like, you don't let really sit on your shelves much?
Well, definitely the Bread 4. I wear those a lot. I wear my Concords a lot. I mean, I rotate them in and out with my Concord 11s, Raging Bull 5s. I wear those a good amount of times. Bread 1s, I wear those a lot. I mean, I beat them. I alter 2 pairs. I have I think the 2013, and then I have 2015 or 16, whatever. I think it's 16. 2016 pair that I rotate. What am I at? 4, 3, 4? I'm at 4.
4.
And then I also wear the white cement 4s a lot. So
are you gonna cop a pair of the black ones when they come out in February? Is it the release for them?
What?
When they come out with the black cement ones in February, right? Are you gonna cop them?
The black cement 3s, and Feb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get two or 3 pairs of those things.
I'm gonna get like 6 pairs. I need those over and over. Like, you can't. The Black Cement 3s is one of the most iconic sneakers of all time. Like, of all time.
Yeah,
it's the first.
Great.
It's the very first Air Unit Jordans, the first Tanker Jordan, and like that is the shoe that made Mike stay at Nike. It's too important not to get 8 pairs of those.
Right. I mean, with the Nike Air on the back, I mean, you never know, when they re-drop, in 5-10 years, they'll probably put that Jumpman on there. So, I mean, you'll want to have the ones with the Nike Air on the back. Like, I've been fighting with myself because I don't have any of the white cement 3s. So, I've been fighting with myself. Am I going to spend the money on 88s? Or am I going to go ahead and, spend $300 on the 2011s? I don't know. We'll see. That might be my next StockX purchase.
Oh, yeah, you got me thinking about it too. Those and the Shadows I'm looking forward to, but I might have to get 1 pair earlier. The Shadows, I think, is just a dope shoe. Like, that's why I love Jordan 1s. You can honestly rock any colorway of a Jordan 1 with any outfit you're wearing, and it will look great. Like, there's no really, like, the shoe is great. Even the sales, like, even though they didn't do as well as the Shattered Backboards, they're such a great quality shoe. So, like, if you can find a pair of them on sale, you should cop them. It looks like a lot of people, too, in the chat. Beard Jedi said that he is definitely getting a bunch of pairs on that, so shout out to him. Got a lot of other people that are definitely thinking about it. But yeah, all those top 5s are solid choices for sure. Can't go wrong with any of them.
Those are the go-tos, or at least those are the ones that I keep close. But now with my new arrangement, I mean, right now, all my shoes are all over the house because I had to move the basement all around, so most of them are upstairs in a certain area of the house, and some of them are down here with me. I mean, did you see that picture I posted with all those shoes, like, just kind of scattered all over? That was on that's on a love seat in my man cave. Oh my God! So I mean, it's still like that, and I was like, I could put them all away, but I'll just wait until my basement. I should be done with that in maybe 2 weeks or so. So then I'll just, I can bite the bullet and take them down there once it gets done. But right now, it's so much dust down there, it scares me.
Oh my God! So Kev, I think we've been chatting with you, and I think we're at that point where we can ask. So what's your number? How many sneakers do you have?
I don't know exactly how many. It's over 300.
Whew.
But
does your wife ever be like, Oh my God. Or is she just used to it now?
I think she's used to it now. I mean, I've kept them out of her way for the most part. Right now,
I know. I've done
right
that.
right now, yeah, well, right now they're displaced, so they're all over the place. But I mean, she knows that we're down there working on it, and there's actually one like it's gonna have its own area. So I mean, we'll keep her out, and then I'll probably, do pod. I'm looking forward to it. So
That's great. That's awesome. I have like a little wall in my bedroom that I have like my grails and the
mm,
ones that are more of like on a heavy rotation. Besides the ones that I use because I get like the boxes from the Container Store of just other things that
okay.
are just in the closet. But yeah, so before we wrap it up, is there anything that either one of you guys or anyone in the chat wants to
Oh
say that
shoot.
they're kind of looking forward into getting the next upcoming week or two?
Actually, I wanted to
That you
say
have guys on?
I wanted to ask Kevin something. I know. First of all, congratulations. You're expecting a new or a member in the family very very soon. So
Yep. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, what is the newborn's first pair of sneakers going to be if you could choose?
Well,
That's a great question.
I already bought a pair. I bought a pair of Flight Suit Fives when they came out, and not knowing if I was having a boy or a girl, but I figured, I mean, they're red, um, either or could wear them. But now we found out it's a girl, and I was actually going to buy the Bordeaux 12s so we could match. But another idea I have too is that Poison Pink 12, because I bought my wife the Serena Williams ones, so I think that'd be kind of a cool picture with the two of them in their black and pink Jordans. So I may do that. I may do both. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the money goes.
That's funny. Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to what's coming out in the next week. I'll kind of name some things that I have my eyes on, or definitely the Tyler the Creator Converse that are coming out. I missed out on the first release because I was sleeping and I didn't think it was going to sell out as fast as it did. So I'm definitely trying to get a pair of those. I think they're going to be a great fall shoe and just a nice shoe to throw on. The trainers, I really do like them a lot. And just like I said before, I'm kind of just how you said that might be my next StockX purchase. I'm kind of just looking into different shoes that are going to be that have came out, in the past that I missed out on or I didn't get. And I'm thinking about selling 2 things in my collection to kind of be ready for the Off-White collection dropping. So that's about it.
Good luck on the Off-White. I mean, there's going to be a lot of sad folks.
I mean, like I said before, I will have the Off-White Vapor Maxes. It's just, I hope I can get them for retail. If I don't, then I'm going to have to use my wits and works, the Canoover, to get them at a good price.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, I'm going to try too, but I mean, I'm probably not going to try as hard. So, I mean, if I don't get them, then I do have Chicago, so I can wear those, and, it'll have to be my consolation prize, I guess.
Have you guys seen anyone out in public with the Off-Whites? The Jordan ones? I saw a guy.
I have
at the
seen
mall.
it. Like I said, I'm always at the store quite a bit, and then we have a lot of privileged shoppers, let's just say. And this was actually even before the special engagement release in New York and London and all that stuff. So he had a early pair of those Jordan 1 Off-Whites. Whether or not they're authentic, I can't tell because before they're released, how can you tell, right? So, but the price he paid for it does suggest that they're authentic. I've seen the Jordan 1s, and we actually have 2 or 3 pairs of the Off-White collection in the store right now. We have the Prestos, we have the Air Max 90s, and we have the Vapor Max. So I've seen most of these shoes, and they are very, very interesting, and they're very high. They're much higher quality than the general release. So if I don't know if they're like $1,000 or $2,000 much better quality, but it is one of those shoes that not even hopefully, but Nike might never do this kind of collaboration again. But knowing Nike, they might. And if you ever get a chance to take a look at them in person, it will kind of change your mind on whether you like them or not. Because I know a lot of people just hate on it just for the fact that they're quote unquote ruining classic or heritage silhouettes. But once you see it in person, you'll actually see the craftsmanship and the creativity behind this entire series. So it really did change my mind on how I viewed it. It's not like I'm gonna run out and buy it on StockX. It's just definitely it's one of those shoes you need to see in person before you make up 100% of your judgment. That's all I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
I also think too, like when I see someone in a shoe that I really do want to get, and then I see them out and them in it, like if it's something rare, it definitely triggers me to buy them more from like seeing how dope they look. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. Whatever. Like, it's whatever. Like, I got to get this now because this is just like, this is a sign. This is just showing me like that these are just so great. And I like, am just going to obsess over this if I don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it is at SneakerCon when you see something that, I mean, you never really see people wear. I mean, because people, you know, they wear their best shoes pretty much to go to SneakerCon. I mean, I'm out in Columbus all the time, and I don't see Yeezys on anybody ever. But I'll go to SneakerCon, there's Yeezys everywhere. Everybody's got their Yeezys on. And like Off-White, like I'll probably never see anybody wearing Off-White in anything outside of a sneaker convention. I mean, but I mean, if I had them, I'd wear them all over the place.
We live in very different parts of the world, man. Like when I go to the mall, it's legit like 50% people wearing like collab Ultra Boost, Human Races, and Yeezys.
Yup.
And
Same
like,
here because I work in a mall.
There's none of that.
And you rarely see GR retros, man. Like if you were to see a Jordan, it would be like an ultra rare, like Fragments or SBBs or something like that. But you don't see too many general. It's the same 18 people buying like all the retro shoes that's sitting in the malls, and it's just such a finicky market over here. And that's why I was crazy impressed with the kind of sneaker culture that the East Coast, like Toronto, had, because people were going for the GR retros and Foamposites and the LeBrons and stuff. That is so different. Like I never expected that. So it's kind of opened my eyes to like the sneaker culture is in a healthy state. Just because Nike's not selling out doesn't mean that they're not doing well. Like trust me, they're doing okay. And,
they're doing great.
And it's just, I love how like other parts of the world is much more diverse in sneaker culture than in Vancouver, because people only wear $1,000+ shoes over here, and it's actually quite boring to see Yeezys on everyone's feet. But it is what it is.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you know
agree
what's crazy is that, I mean, like me and my wife, like we'll watch like shows like the Property Brothers and stuff. Your houses cost crazy money in Canada. It is bananas. Like, how do you even buy a house? I mean, I'll see a house and it'll be like, you know, here that house will probably go for $150,000. I mean, it's just like, you know, 1,000 square foot, and you know they're 800,000. I'm like, but my budget is $1 million. I'm like, you got $1 million and that's what you're buying? You need to just take that money and come on down here. If you got that much money, like, what are you doing? Right. Like, I need a job in Canada and still live here. That's what I need.
Yeah, let me take that money, get me some Off-White Vapor Maxes with it.
Oh man, Canada's got that dough.
That's very true. Well, I definitely think we covered like a lot of really great topics for this week. And Kev, I really do appreciate, sorry, Siri was talking to me. I really do appreciate you coming on to the show tonight and kind of, you know, sharing a little bit of background about yourself, you know, exploring that you got a little one on the way in their shoe of the game. So it was definitely great having you. Is there anything you wanted to close out with, Eugene?
At the usual closeout stuff, and I'll throw it to you guys. So, of course, thanks to our very, very first guest on this show, Kev, Buckeye City Soul. You can find. I'll let you plug it afterwards. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in, and the chat, of course, makes this show what it is. So, thank you for all the participation in the chat. And thank you for everyone that watched all the way through. Thank you so much. You can find us on online at sneakerphiles.com and on Twitter at Sneakerphiles and on Instagram at Sneakerphiles_podcast. I don't know if you guys care or not. I started like a new series of vlogs on YouTube. It's just me.
Yeah, check it out.
It's just me running around the store causing trouble and being an asshole. And yeah, but there's lots of sneakers to look at, and there's a lot of news coming out. And it's just one of those things. I decided, I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a daily video vlogger person because I don't even consider myself a vlogger. But it's just like accumulating all this footage. I just have to find a way to release it before I pile up too much. So yeah, on this YouTube channel, you can take a look at all our previous videos and this and that. So yeah, I'm gonna let you sign off, Brooke.
All right, cool. Once again, Kev, thank you so much for coming on to our show tonight. It was really great having you. I enjoy talking to this guy daily as he makes fun of me on my purchases. But besides that, thank you to everyone in the chat that participated. Really happy with tonight's participation, and we'll see you next week. You can find me everywhere down below as well. Brookie Do at Instagram, Brookie Do on Twitter, and also my website if you like reading things rather than watching videos. I do some pretty great reviews on shoes, why they have a meaning to me, and also just reviews of them. So check it out if you have the time.
And Kev, why don't you plug where we can find you and when we can watch your show?
All right. You can find me at Buckeye City Soul on Instagram, Twitter, everything like that. And then you can see us on the Monday Midsole. It's myself, One-Legged Lister, Polos and Jays, Molly Maw, and Unboxed App every Monday at 8 o'clock. We usually try to go till 10 o'clock. Sometimes we go a little over. But, you know, if we go over, that means we're having a good time. But, you know, check us out. We have an Instagram page, too. You want to check that out. It's the Monday Midsole. And thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. First guest. Yes.
Yes, first guest of the show, and it was great, man. Thank you again.
So, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back next week. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.